One of our partners in IAMCP members in Italy built a AI incubator, and I looked at Eduardo's profile, and he has been working as well for IKEA for 14 years, right? So 18 years, okay. Eduardo, the floor is all yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning, everybody, once again. Good morning. I'm pretending I'm part of the gadgets set, so I'm here after the raffle. Should we start with this? Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm here to talk about how we built the AI incubator, the digital tree incubator. It is actually not only an incubator, we call it innovation habitat. It's totally and completely focused on AI. So it's something a little bit bigger than an incubator. And we will go through the story, how we had the idea to implement and develop it. So starting with the founders. The founders are two players. One is SoftGem. You probably know this company quite well. Andrea Pescino is running this company. He's been very active in the IAMCP community so far. So you probably know him very well. And then we have a strategic management consulting company, which is called Mixura. And we have the CEO here, Marco Bressani. I have to say that we are an independent company, privately owned. And those two partners have been working for many years before we started with the incubator on different projects, for example, delivering digital transformation and change management in the companies. So, like every story, we start with once upon a time. Back in early 2017, the two founders started a discussion regarding the future and what is going to what was happening at that time in the technological development, especially in the field of data and artificial intelligence. And I think you have seen this slide before. This is from the deck from Microsoft about the Industrial Revolution. Of course, we all know that we are in between the fourth Industrial Revolution, and the point for us was, okay, we are in between this revolution. What is inside it for me? Where did it come from? And what opportunity could we see in the future for us? That was a reflection that the two partners made at that time. Of course, we all know that this revolution is driven by three factors, big factors. First is cloud and big data and intelligence. And particularly the cloud is, of course, one thing that was very well known by one partner, SoftGem, because this comes, of course, from the infrastructural world. And SoftGem had a leading position in the market, especially in Italy, being one of the first to implement the transition to cloud. And then, of course, the reflection was that the cloud offers a lot of possibilities in terms of giving access to data, speed, computational power, and its paper consumption. And then, of course, we know that the digital and mobile revolution brings in a lot of data, and that's, of course, something we all know. That data is the new oil, and we all know that there has been a tremendous growth in the data amount over the last times. And then we have the algorithm, much more sophisticated and efficient than before. So this brought to a scenario that was mainly built on three pillars. The first pillar is that we have frameworks for machine learning. This is the world that is growing much faster compared to the others. The second one is the cognitive services, what we call AI applied. We have seen some very inspiring example in the last 2 days. And then we have the deep learning, which is still developing and not very accessible to major companies, but also to large players like Microsoft and Google. So having these scenarios, the reflection was, what are the low-hanging fruits that we had in front of us regarding this opportunity? And we identified three main areas which we thought it was really important for us to build an idea from. First one is competences. I'm talking, of course, about the situation in Italy, but as far as we know, also on a European level, there is a lot of gaps. There are a lot of gaps between the skill demand and the skill offer and the preparation of people, especially in this field. Remember that we are talking about early 2017, so all the material from the platform, from Microsoft, for example, was not available at that time. So this is something that we thought it was a good opportunity for us to take along. Second point was the market awareness. Again, we have seen over these 2 days that the market is not really prepared to understand AI. So we know that there is a lot of space for us to develop and talk about AI to our customer to make them understand the possibility that we have done for them. And then the startups. Of course, having access to a large amount of data, having access to computational power, it gives a tremendous power to the startups to develop products and solutions like not ever before. So we decided to build on this, and we thought that it was a time to build an innovation habitat focused on AI, but we didn't do it only on our own. We also choose to have some partners, qualified partners, not only SoftGem and Mixura, but also, of course, university from the academic part, and Microsoft as a technological partner. We are dealing a lot with Microsoft Italy, of course. So first of all, let's start with our motto. This is a statement from Warren Buffett. It says, "Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago." For us, it's really important because it's a meaning that we want to build something that will stay. Like, of course, when you learn something, it will stay with you forever. And we are talking a lot about competence and create new learnings for people. Yeah. But why this in Genoa? You could ask, okay, Milan, Rome, maybe it's better. Why in Genoa? Well, there are a couple of reasons. The first one, that we have a history of competences in our town. The second is that we have academic excellence, and we have a strong alignment with political focus in our region and city. On the first point, we have to say that some solution before the age of AI and computer vision or text recognition were developed in Genoa, like, for example, the transit in the doors from Telepass when you drive the car through the highway, or the reading of the zip code on the letters were developed back in the 90s in Genoa. So there was a lot of experience there. And then, according to Microsoft Academic Search, we have in Genoa one of the best universities regarding the computational intelligence. Recently, we have a researcher called Lorenzo Rosasco, who won a grant, a ERC grant of 2 million, and it's one of the most important rewards in the field of research. And Lorenzo actually is our scientific director of our training school. And finally, you probably don't know those two guys. One is the mayor of Genoa, and the other one is the governor of the region, Liguria. They both are supporting our projects, and they are aligned with us, and the strategy of the region is really very much focused on developing competence in the digital field. So they are with us all the time, I have to say. And then we also decided to be a focus for a number of stakeholders in the community. So we are not only dealing with businesses or companies, we're also dealing with the non-profit organization, start-uppers, media influencer, business networks, schools, other incubators, and so on. So we're really trying to create an habitat where it can be a point of reference for many, many different stakeholders, and we work actively with them. Oops. And then why SoftGem and Mixura? Of course, SoftGem is a system integrator. I told you about that before. A solid background in cloud infrastructure. And on the other side, Mixura is experienced in digital transformation, change management, and also sustainable growth and integrated reporting. So there were two souls that we're mixing together, creating the perfect match on that. So what do we do, actually? We do three main things. We have an academy inside our innovation habitat. We have an incubator for startups, and we do open innovation projects with companies that want to deal with artificial intelligence. Starting from academy, I have to spend 3 slides about why academy and training on competence is so important for us. You probably have seen this headline before. It's very strong. I think artificial intelligence will be the greatest jobs engine in the world has ever seen. So this is coming back to the question that we put yesterday in Kahoo, if AI is going to build or destroy jobs. Actually, it will be both, but it will be the greatest engine that the world has ever seen. Second point is not from me, but it's from the World Economic Forum. I don't know if you can read this slide, but to me it's very inspiring, absolutely inspiring. This is the Future of Jobs Survey 2018 from the World Economic Forum, and it says what are the 3 top reasons for a company to choose where to put its headquarters. And surprisingly, it's for all the sectors, this is really across sectors, it's talent availability. So the cities are now competing each others to get the best talent. So when they have the talent, the business will come there. So the idea for us is to create and train more and more people so that companies will come to our place and instead do their business there. So it's still for automotive, aviation, energy, financial, the top reason now is talent availability. So they go where the talent is. And lastly, talking about the future of jobs, this is a chart explaining that, of course, there are a number of jobs that are going to disappear. That's real. But also another number of jobs will appear. The problem is, where do they disappear and when they will appear? Because, of course, if you don't have a policy to start to have talent and start to train people about the new skills, the jobs in your place will be lost. And they will be, of course, born new jobs elsewhere. So that's why we are trying to create awareness and training in our place. Yeah, the academy, what we do differently there. It totally focused on the AI, machine learning, cognitive services. It's mainly on Microsoft tools and technologies, but it's also done in a blended method because I told you we are an ecosystem. We have the academy, we have the incubator, we have the businesses. So every day when we do training, we expose the students not only to the training, but also to the environment. So they meet the startups, they work with them, and they have hands-on laboratories with other researchers that are working in the habitat. The incubator. So far, I have to say the incubator, there are many incubators in Europe, across Europe. The difference for us is that we are not taking any share, any equity from the startups. Our business model is not going through that point. For us, it's important because the startups are the engine of the ecosystems. Because the more startups we have the more ideas we have, the more we can create a natural flow of positive competence. And we use the people there to train the students. And also the students can go to work in the startups. So for us, absolutely, it's important. So far, we have 13 startups. And we have a capability to host up to 25 full startups in the building. And then we have open innovation. Following our vision, which is to get people and companies ready for the challenges of the future, we are trying to inject AI solution in the companies through a different method, which is called, of course, open innovation. We have our own way to do it, and we can do it because we know that we have a rich soil that we can use to deliver this project with the companies. We have competences with the academy, we have the mentors, we have the vendors and the tech vendors, we have the connection and the habitat. So every time we design a process with the companies, we bring all the ecosystem together and we try to design together with them their own project, making use of all the assets that we have inside. So what we have achieved so far? A number of things, I have to say. The first one, from the training part, we have this Maya Academy. It's called Microsoft AI Academy. We have worked heavily with Microsoft Italy to build this training academy, which is, it was the one and only Microsoft AI Academy in Italy so far. And the important thing is that this program is run with the goal to create data scientists that will have a place in companies. So far we have trained up to 50 data scientists per year, and the typical day in this classroom is that they started with 2 hours with the professor, so it's a frontal training, and they have researchers doing an overview of the specific topic and the state of the art of the research in that part. Then the students work on the platform, on the learning platform from Microsoft, and in the afternoon the teacher comes back and do the labs with them. This is valid from Monday to Thursday. Then on Friday, we expose them to the ecosystem. So they work with the startups, they work with the other professors, or they go in the Microsoft House in Milan to do some laboratories. So for us, it's absolutely important. It's a program that is forming data scientists specifically on Microsoft technologies, and it's of course a good benefit for the companies that have 100% placement. Then what we have so far in the incubator, we have raised for them up to 18 million. It's not a big amount of money, but it's of course for us being so new, it's a good result. It's important to say that, for example, this startup, Pillow, is now having 15 orders from Stanley in USA. It's a voice-activated at-home companion that manages a total wellness program from you and your loved ones. It's basically a prescription dispenser. So you put your pills in the bot. The bot recognizes you and remembers you that you have to take your pills and takes care of you along the day. Then, one important thing. Last January, the government of Italy decided to set up a table that was focused on designing a strategy for Italy around AI for the next years. And they picked and chose 30 people from all Italy to make up this table. And Marco Bressani, who is sitting here in the room, is one of the members of this commission. They are building and designing the strategy that Italy will have regarding AI for the next years. And they're also sharing this strategy with the European Union. And the European Union, as you may know, is putting a lot of money on the development of AI. We're talking about 20 billions for the next coming years. And they will divide this budget into countries that have a specific task within AI. And Marco, with the other people, is designing the area where we want to be selected to receive this funding by the European Union. So it's very important for us. We are very proud of that. And then we have also a big event coming on. In November 2019, we will organize our AI, Artificial Intelligence World Congress. There are many congresses in the world about AI. We are trying to do something that will make AI more close to people. So we're trying to let people see the pop side of AI, so making it less afraid of what is coming through AI. It's going to be 3 days in Genoa. This is the first edition, so it will be a bit of a garage edition. But we are aiming to have it every year, from here on. And of course, it's open also for you to participate. We will have a commercial part, we will have a congress part, we'll have startups showing their products there. So it's a huge opportunity for all of us. So what are the benefits that we created with this project? The benefit that we created for our shareholders a market relevance, because we had a lot of marketing coverage about our initiatives, and the two of course, founders had a lot of benefits on that. But also we had a lot of talent attraction. I know you are struggling to find the right people with the right competence for your companies. And this is a way that now people is coming to us because they know that we are doing these things around AI. So we have a lot of people moving from the startups to our companies. Or, for example, if a startup fails, which is happens quite often, 90% of the case, they can do many things within our habitat. They can move to another startup. They can go and have another round of study and training in the academy, or they can go and work, for example, in SoftGem. So it's a virtuous circle. Of course, there is a lot of change management in that because we are a startup, we have a very lean staff, and we work a lot with the staff of the existing companies. So you have a lot of change management to do to have those people working in a different way, moving from one reality to the other, and having taken into consideration, of course, the personal value of the people. Then a call to action. We would really like to hear from you and have a feedback from you. We live in a very nice place. It's as beautiful as Spain. The picture you see here actually is not for inspiration. It's actually, probably, Sergio, you have been there.
I had dinner there.
You had dinner there. You were a lucky one. But our place is really 500 meters from that place, so it's really nice. And it's a good place to visit, but it's also interesting for us to hear the feedback from you about our project. The second point, the programs are all run in English. So Maya, for example, is open. It is an international program done on Microsoft tools. And we also are hosting the Intelligent Bootcamp Deep Dive next week. So still admission open. We have, I think, 8 seats left. It's training for advanced 300, 400 levels in data architects. You can join if you want. Then, of course, on the open innovation, there might be projects of open innovation that needs to be transnational with companies living in different countries. So we are, of course, available to design and co-develop programs of open innovation with partners everywhere in Europe. This is an opportunity for all of us. And finally, of course, we said we are a digital tree, but we are aiming to become a digital forest. So if you want to plant your own tree and have your own version of the digital tree, we are open to partnership, and we are looking for partners to replicate this model. We have already deals with Rome, Milan, and Bari in Italy, and something also for Switzerland, and we are aiming to replicate this model also elsewhere in the European Union. Yeah, so thank you so far. Thank you very much.
So